Hello, everyone. I'm Kate Grace, and I'm the Knowledge Manager for Global Science. So Global Science manages subscriptions for peer-reviewed literature for the WWF network. So we've developed the Global Library to distribute access to the many journals we subscribe to WWF staff across the network. So what you're seeing now is actually the redesigned version of the Global Library. If you visited before, this should look very different. And so I'm creating this tutorial video to help people learn how it is to use the Global Library, how to search and find the resources that you're looking for. So please remember that all of this literature is copyright protected. And unless you are the author of a publication, you should not share copies to non-WWF staff. It's also because of the copyright that the Global Library can be a bit buggy at times, but I hope this tutorial will help you find the scientific literature you need. So you'll see immediately when you visit the Global Library that we have direct links to some of the major journals right here on the page. So you can see there's Science, Nature, Conservation Biology, PNAS, etc., as well as some of the major publishers where you would find your scientific literature. And that's Elsevier with Science Direct, Springer, Nature is now a Springer, part of the Springer package, and Wiley. So we have access to thousands of journals throughout the Global Library, so we can't link to them all directly here. We do try to link to the ones that we think you'll be reaching out to quite a bit. But therefore, it's important for you to be able to find what you need by searching the library's online collection. So in this tutorial, I'm going to conduct different searches depending on the information that I have for the article that I'm looking for, so that you can see how to use the different tools here. So you might come to the library looking for a specific article. So I'm going to show you how to search if you have something very specific that you're looking for. So let's say you know some keywords, the author, the journal, and the publisher. Then you have a few different options. If you know that your article is available through Science Direct, then you would click here, Science Direct. Wait for it. And you may have to log in again to OneWWF, and if you do, that's fine. Just use your login credentials. And here we go. That's how we verify that you're WWF staff, and so you may have to do that from time to time. So you're going to enter the fields that you know, let's say here. So let's say I'm looking for an article on perceptions of trophy hunting in Namibia, then I'm going to write that here. Trophy hunting, local perceptions, Namibia. That already comes up because I've tested this, thank goodness. And I know the author. His name is Naidu, Robin Naidu. And journal, or the book title, I know it's in Biological Conservation. So obviously you're not going to know this every time, and we'll go through that in later searches. There it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and click search. So voila, here's the article. You can see it right there. And so you can either go to the journal page or you can download the PDF directly. And so you see you have access to do that. I'll just click here to show you. And so there, we've got access to the full publication. And if I click that download PDF button, it's gonna come right to me. All right, great. So, but we don't always know all of that information when you're looking for something, especially publishers. So let's say you know the journal and some keywords. From the Global Library, you can use the search bar to find the journal. So let's say I know the journal. It's Biological Conservation. I'm going to type that here. I'm going to search. So that should bring up this list. Hopefully includes the correct journal, which it does. And then you can search the keywords within it right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just use the same keywords, trophy hunting, Namibia. I'm going to search. So here's the article that we were looking for again. And so if the article that you're looking for is in the search list, then it's worked. So the keywords can be a bit buggy sometimes, so you might want to make sure you try a few different options or a few different combinations if your article didn't come up. Mine is here, so I'm going to, I want to access it, so I'm going to click this. Now I'm in the details page of the search results. And so you can see additional information here. And this is especially useful if you weren't sure that was the right article. So this should give you all of the info that you need to make sure that you found the article that you're looking for, including the full abstract, which is actually, that is not here. So good to know. But if you want the article, if you really just wanted to access the article, you might be confused when you get to this page. And what you need to do is click this full text finder right here on the side of the page. I don't know if you can see this. So that's the field that you're looking for. And if you want to skip going to the details page when you found it in your search results, you could just don't click the title, make sure to click full text finder. So here it is again, the article, the full article, again, PDF button is right there. And you can tell that we have access because it says right here, brought to you by World Wildlife Fund Global Library. So now if we didn't have access to this publication, it wouldn't have brought the article up immediately. It would have taken you to another page to say that, that you don't have access or you need to purchase it, essentially. But let's say you don't have any of that info, but you just have an idea of what you're looking for and you know what you need. Then the best tool for you to use might be Google Scholar. This link has access through our proxy server embedded in the coding. So this link to Google Scholar is different than just opening Google Scholar in your browser. So if you can see here in the bar that it has this access to our proxy server. So let's enter some search terms. See what we find. So immediately what's different here is that you'll see these links here on the side of these articles on the right side of the page. These are access links. So we should be able to get any of the articles with these links. So I'm going to right click on this one, on the link itself, just so that you can see. So this isn't an article that we were particularly looking for, but maybe it looks interesting. And we have access through JSTOR. And so you'll see it immediately pulls up this PDF so that you can read the article. I'm going to go back to our search results. And I just want to highlight that just because an article doesn't have that link on the side, it doesn't mean that we don't have access to it. It's just that these are pretty good hints that we do have access to them. So if you look at this first one, for instance, you'll see that it's published in Biological Conservation. Well, we definitely have access to Biological Conservation. That's one of the journals we have a subscription to, so we should have access to it. So I'll just open this up. And then as the page loads, right away you should see here at the top, brought to you by World Wildlife Fund Global Library. So just an indication that we do have access to this to this article. For the most part, you will be able to find that on some of the articles, but it's brought to you by World Wildlife Fund Global Library, or we have access through World Wildlife Fund. But sometimes it's hidden, sometimes it's in different places, so it's not always in the right top corner. That's by journal. So just FYI, just because you don't see it in the right top corner doesn't mean that we won't have it. But so if we continue to search, let's say that we're not looking for these articles, so let's look for things that are newer. I'm gonna limit it to since 2018. Right here at the very top of the page is the article that we're looking for. I'm not gonna go ahead and click that because we already know that we have access to it. But I just want to show you another one. So if we look at this article down here, let's say you're interested in that. It's a Wiley article. And as it loads, you'll see right here that the access is provided by World Wildlife Fund. So this is an article that we have full access to within Wiley as well. So bottom line is we have access to more things than you might think. And so just because it doesn't show up in your Google Scholar search results with links here on the side doesn't mean we don't have access to it. But if they are there, then click those links on the right-hand side. So I am going to go back to show you another search option, which is the EBSCO databases, particularly the EBSCO Discovery Service. So if you click here, it'll immediately take you to a page where you can find the Publication Finder or the EBSCO Discovery Service. So we've already used the Publication Finder when we searched for the journal Biological Conservation here in this search box. So I'm going to show you the Discovery Service. So you should get a page that looks like this for an advanced search. If I search for articles with trophy hunting, let's see, let's say this is a really important field, so we want that to come up in the abstract. And Namibia, in the, let's say this can be in the full text. Which I can't see right now, so we'll just, alt text, excuse me. And then let's just see what comes up. So the article we are looking for is on top. You know we have access to that. You would click this full text finder to get to directly access the article. I'm going to scroll down. You'll see all these other articles that showed up using our terms as well. So as you scroll, you'll notice that some have full text access. Others have a PDF version, so that's like right here. And other options like search for this article in Google Scholar should also appear. So I'm just going to try to find one of those. Here we go. So when you click that, we might have access, but we might not. It's best to follow the search through and see. Looks like we'd have to do some advanced searching for that particular article. But it's just good to note that these are kind of all the options that exist for searching through the global library, and there's any combination of these you can use. We also have the directory of open access journals if you just want to search things that are open access as well, but that won't include the things that we have subscriptions to. It will just include open access journals. So, but those are some different searches, different ways you can use these tools. I hope that's somewhat helpful. And lastly, I just wanted to bring up, once you've found your articles, how do you store them? What do you do with them? If you're not familiar with Zotero, I'd like to call your attention to that. It's an almost free citation management system which allows you to organize your literature by different topics, by different areas, however is useful for you in your work, essentially. You can also create group libraries so that others that you work with can access that library. They can use it, and they can even be admins and add to it. So they're adding articles and things like that. So these are full profiles, what I'm just hovering over now, for instance, of an article. And if it has the blue dot, it means that we have access to it, and you can access that PDF right through here. This is the desktop version. There's an online version as well. So I said it's almost free, as it's free up to a certain storage quota. Enough that it's fine for a personal library, but if you do create a group library and share it widely, as it grows, it may exceed the free storage quota. So if you have an active group library, we do have some unlimited licenses available. Just contact me to see if you're eligible and if we have some that you can use. So I'm going to stop here. I hope that this was useful for showing you how to use some of the search tools within the Global Library to find the articles that we have access to. If you have any questions, please do contact me directly. My name is Kate Graves. I'm in Global Science, based in Washington, D.C., and my email address is kate.graves, Graves, @wwf.org. So you can also find me on Workplace and through the Global Science Network community. So feel free to post any questions that you might have about the library here. All right, thank you very much. And please do contact me if you have any issues. Thanks.